In a small village surrounded by misty mountains and lush green fields, there lived a boy named Aarav. He was the brightest student in his school, known for always scoring the highest marks. Yet, he was never truly happy. To him, life was a constant race, and the only finish line that mattered was the result. A perfect score, a gold medal, or an award that everyone would envy. Aarav's obsession with results came from his father, a strict man who believed that life was all about winning. Second place is just the first loser, his father often said, drilling into Aarav the importance of being the best. Every morning before school, his father would remind him, "Results are everything, Aarav. Without them, no one will care about you." One day, Aarav's teacher, Mr. Ravi, assigned the class a unique project. Each student was given a seed to plant and nurture. The task was simple: care for the plant and write a journal about its growth over a month. The students were thrilled, but Aarav frowned. "What's the point of this? There's no winner, no medal," he muttered under his breath. Aarav took the seed home and planted it in a small pot. For the first few days, he diligently watered the soil, expecting the seed to sprout quickly. But as the days passed, nothing happened. Frustrated, he began comparing his progress with his classmates. Some of them had tiny green shoots already poking through the soil. "Why is mine taking so long?" Aarav thought, feeling a knot of anxiety tighten in his chest. Determined to catch up, Aarav began overwatering the plant, adding extra fertilizer, and even moving it to different spots in his yard to find the perfect sunlight. Yet, the soil remained barren. His frustration grew into anger, and he started neglecting the pot altogether. One evening, while sitting alone in his room, Aarav's grandfather noticed his sour mood and asked, "What's troubling you, Aarav?" Aarav sighed. "This stupid seed won't grow. I've done everything, but it's not working. Everyone else's plants are growing except mine." His grandfather chuckled softly. "Let me tell you a story, Aarav." Aarav groaned. "Not another one of your stories, Dadaji." Ignoring his protest, his grandfather began. "Many years ago, there was a young farmer who wanted to grow the best mango tree in the village. He planted a seed and watched over it every day, just like you. But instead of worrying about when the tree would bear fruit, he focused on caring for it, watering it, protecting it from pests, and enjoying the process of nurturing something alive. It took years, but when the tree finally bore fruit, it was the sweetest anyone had ever tasted." "Do you know why?" Aarav shrugged. "Why?" "Because the farmer wasn't chasing results. He was focusing on the journey. The tree grew at its own pace, and when it was ready, it gave him something extraordinary." Aarav thought about his grandfather's words but didn't respond. That night, as he lay in bed, the story lingered in his mind. He realized he had been so fixated on seeing a result that he hadn't enjoyed the process of caring for the seed. The next morning, Aarav decided to change his approach. He stopped obsessing over whether the seed would sprout and instead focused on the simple act of nurturing it. Every day, he watered the soil, cleared away weeds, and wrote in his journal about how the sunlight felt warm on his skin or how the soil smelled after the rain. For the first time, he felt a sense of calm and satisfaction. Weeks passed, and one sunny afternoon, Aarav noticed a tiny green shoot emerging from the soil. His heart leaped with joy. It wasn't the tallest or the fastest growing plant in the class, but to Aarav, it was a small miracle. At the end of the month, the students presented their journals. Some showed off their tall plants, while others spoke about the challenges they faced. When it was Aarav's turn, he held up his modest little sprout and said, "This project taught me something important. It's not just about how tall the plant grows or how fast it sprouts. It's about what you learn and experience while taking care of it. I realized that focusing on the journey rather than the result makes all the difference." The classroom fell silent, and then Mr. Ravi clapped. "Well said, Aarav. Growth isn't always visible at first. Sometimes, the most important growth happens within us." From that day on, Aarav's mindset began to shift. He still worked hard, but he no longer measured his worth solely by his results. He found joy in learning, satisfaction in effort, and peace in knowing that growth takes time. Years later, Aarav became a successful scientist. celebrated not just for his achievements, but for his passion and dedication to his work. Whenever young students asked him for advice, he would smile and say, "Don't chase results. Focus on the journey. The results will take care of themselves."
Do like and subscribe this channel if you love your puppy.